Well, as you can see, there's a bubble on my screen. I have been tasked by eye tracker gods to use an eye tracker for this video, so I guess leave your feedback in the comments. So today we are going to be going over the basics of the building in Space Engineers and building the basic ship, probably the first ship that you should build when starting in survival. An atmospheric miner. I do apologize for my horrible microphone quality. It's currently a web camera with a sock on top of it, on top of a lamp. What you want to start with is always conveyor components and then thrusters, and then you cover it all with armor. And for large ships or small ships that you want to walk around in, also leave the space for walkways. You do not start with a whole shape. A lot of people do that. That's a mistake. You only do that if you're making a replica. You should start with a cockpit. First press Ctrl X on the cockpit, bam, object cut, press B multiple times and, well, done. It's oriented properly. Bam, bam. Also one thing, you need a connection. And stone can travel through small connectors. One thing is that you want to try to use as less conveyors, just useless conveyors, just tubes, as possible. Have it efficient. Efficiency is always nice. Now, one thing with miners that you would want to do is conveyor sorter. Make sure the arrows point in that direction. And one thing is that ejectors are small, but what you can do, there's no big ejector for the small grid, but you place a connector and go to the control panel and use foot parker disable it and strengths disable it. Collect all, throw out. That's it. And on the conveyor sorter, what you want to do not put drain all, have it off, because the connector itself will be sucking hard, and if it has drain all here enabled, it might be in the way. So yeah, filter mode, whitelist, and put stone here. So you can mine around and only ore will be picked up. I guess everything will be picked up, but stone will be quickly ejected. It might be useful if we do something like this. So you have actual visibility from the cockpit. You can use symmetry mode, press M to switch between different symmetry planes, and when you are satisfied with it, just click on the spot and there we go, and press N multiple times and there we go. And you can add multiple symmetry planes, so like bam, or even a third one, bam. And if you want to remove one, select the type and press right mouse button. There we go. Also, one useful thing is press Ctrl copy on the blueprint just to have it on your cache. So in case accidentally you delete it for some reason, it still will be in your copy paste thingy. One thing that I want to do is put a camera here, because it's really useful to have a camera nearby the connector so you can see where you're landing. You can line yourself with the connector, and other ones we can just do like this. Now, thrusters. I will use these ones, just a reskin of the normal ones, no statistical change. Now, as you can see, we have thrust in all directions, we have drills, now we need gyroscopes. And there we go, that's the basics. Now, auxiliary devices. We have remote control, so you can remotely control the ship if you have an antenna. Let's put it here. Camera down here. Bam. There we go. Camera forward, camera down. So let's see how much power will this thing consume. If you're thrusting upwards, so that's like two big thrusters. Large atmospheric thrusters. So 2.4 megawatts, 4.8 megawatts, that's 4 of them. And I guess if you're thrusting to the side and forward, that's 4 small ones, so that's another 2.4 megawatts. So that's like 7.2 megawatts in total. And how much can one battery put out? 4 megawatts, so 2 of them should be enough. I will use for fire battery skin. Also, spotlights are very useful if you're mining deep down deep. And how I like to configure them is, yes, maximum range and intensity to the minimum, so the light itself doesn't, it lights up stuff enough, but if you have high intensity, then like look at this, it's like opaque almost, you can see stuff here. That's new. Antenna and or detector and projector. Also have antennas off in your blueprint, because when you are welding it, you don't want to have it accidentally just weld the antenna and it's on, and someone might detect you and find you and destroy you. Now, fun thing with projectors is like almost no one knows. Press Ctrl X on the ship, bam, on the spot where you want to put the projector, and just put the ship on top of the projector. First of all, what that will do is make your pivot point be in the projector in the same orientation as projector. So orientation is good because when you are pasting it, it will be oriented properly. There's a lot of ships I have seen that you paste. I mean, in survival you don't paste them, but you build them. But in creative, when you paste them in gravity, and you need to manually rotate them because they're like spawning on the side. Like, come on. And another big feature. Let's blueprint this. Ctrl B. There we go. We'll need to rename it later. And check this out. Projector, blueprints. And it disabled it, because usually projectors have projection off. But what just happened is it projected the projection onto itself perfectly without any adjustments. Works all the time. So that's why you paste the blueprint onto the projector and not the projector onto the blueprint. Yeah, let's actually get to the setup. This must replace name. You can just do this, select box, reset name, and prefix name. There we go. So what you want to use: antennas, show ship name, it's off, blah blah blah. Camera, check out which one is what. This one is front. So this one is bottom, I guess. This connector, it has, okay, it's not, I mean, used for parking, yes. This one is bottom. This one is, let's go, ejection. Yep. Sorter is sorter. Drill is drill. Gyroscope, gyroscope. Industrial cockpit. What I like to do is just add this white, background black. Center screen to artificial horizon. Side screen if it goes to space to gravity, and if it's on the planets to weather. Center one, if this would be gravity, then it would be to weather if it can go on the planets. But it can't, and it has already weather here. I mean, that's what I mean, yep. So there we go, and numpad, script, faction icon. If you're in a faction, which I am not, I probably should be. There we go. And what do we have here? There it is. Fun fact. Clocks in Space Engineers show real time, not the one in the game. And also you can do it in main cockpit if there's multiple ones, and you can pilot, or you want to be able to pilot the ship only from this one. But I don't really care. Magnetic plate, outlock, disable it. Car containers or detector, max range. Projector is projector, remote control. Collision avoidance on, precision mode on, camera front, flight mode one way. Thrusters, spotlights, we already configured them, where batteries are batteries. Now you would want to group it, copy paste. You can't, sadly, mass group stuff, haven't found a mod for that yet. Bam. Cameras can't access be individually from a group, so just do cameras and have them in Toolbar, still visible in Toolbar config, but hidden in terminal. Connector bottom is connector bottom, connector ejection is connector ejection, rename everything first, I guess, then change visibility much faster that way. There we go. Now how I like to configure it is have cameras here, then connectors that you switch, then landing gear switch. Now one thing with thrusters that I almost forget always do is thrusters is copy this and then left, find it all, left. Also how you can do it more conveniently, show everything in terminal, switch to visible only, and when you group it, hide it. There we go. Right ones. Now, why am I doing this? So you can see what thrusters are what when you are not in the cockpit. Also I have thruster recolor mode. What I like to do is have this not fully transparent and black, and max thrust not transparent and white, and thrusters backward have it toggle off here if you want, so they don't slow down you if you want to disable them, and then override controls for the forward ones, so you can just put them on override and keep going forward. Block tools, have drill here. Also like to have the conveyor sorter on the switch, toggle it on or off in case you do want to mine stone for some reason. I mean, sometimes you do, for gravel. Second page, I like to have my batteries and tanks and reactors and auto H2 generators here, and the remote control. I'll load on off, decrease speed limit, increase speed limit, and third page, antenna stop, and our detector and projector, and then gyroscope and thrusters. That's pretty much, I have the same setup on all of my ships. Very convenient, survival ready. And now set up the antenna like that. I like it to have it like 1 kilometer on default. That's it, everything is set up here. Now one thing why I like to do it in groups is because sometimes when you're building the ship, sometimes stuff from Toolbar just disappears. It's strange, but with groups, no, doesn't happen. It's very, very, very convenient. Plus, I mean, it's good to group everything. By the way, how you can paste a planet? Shift F10. Planets, let's go on Prtam. Let's make it small. I like small planets. And bam, there we go, my planet. Very cool. And by the way, spectator mode, you can check the controls in the settings in the view. I have it different buttons than default. And then control space, player teleported to the spectator, and oops. So yeah, technically if you want to have a really small miner, you would not need any cargo containers even, just connect the drills directly to the connector. Right, yeah, here I'm pretty much, it's like more visibility for not so comfortable drillability. Yeah, that's kind of uncomfortable. That's another thing, you would always want to test your blueprints. But it shouldn't be that hard to fix. Oh yeah, also I need to stop the symmetry again, because projector was another grid, so I pasted this onto the projector, so it's kind of another grid now. But yeah, this might be the most optimal front profile for it. We could have the batteries instead of this, have them like this. Yep, that looks nice. What could be done is this. Have this here, and have this here. And that's it. See, just only components. Well, I guess like 3 blocks, that's it. Yeah, as you can see, you pretty much can make a tunnel with just normal mining code for it that it can go through. So yeah, this position of the drills is definitely the one that we should use. Now, let's do some blocking on top of it. Not much, just a bit, to make it look nicer. Let's see, any angles that it looks bad from. No, I think it's pretty much done. Now we need to paint it. Just 1 second, let me switch to default materials for now. Alright, and save the world. Well, here we are. Space Engineer's Toolbox. The link will be in the description. Let's open up the world. You have probably not been expecting this, but this is a great way to... Oh wow, that's a lot of stone. Alright, first we assign a color to the beams. Bam. Then we assign a color to the armor. Bam. Column. Bam. Do we have any blasters? Nope. Okay. Any other blocks? Nope. Just functional ones left. Functional blocks. Bam. And that's it. Everything colored. That was quick. A great way to know what you can do in the game is to check the controls. Either control settings or in Space Engineers if you press F1. It gives you a bunch of tips, chat, commands, controls, all the stuff. Tutorials there. Tutorials here. Meh. Old. But yeah, just check all this out. Oh yeah. Very cool. Also there's a lot of people I see have this sync enabled. Shift F1. Bam. Bam. No more red screen. Go away. Stupid screen. Alright, block tool, it's character tools. Paint gun, haha, that's a mod. Link in the description. Shift R. And basically we replace the colors. Bam. 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 Right, not much, because, well, it's like a blob of functional blocks. Not much armor on it. But that's a default appearance list. What you can do is you can just select this color and there we go. Good old industrial yellow. Well, that's it. That's the finished product. I did some finishing touches and made the color a little bit brighter. This is the same color as the components would be. And also added a spinny light on top. And also changed the color of screens in the cabin. Very cool. So yeah, that's it. Link will be available in the description to it. Have any feedback? Want have any ideas on other tutorials? Or feedback on the eye tracker? Put it in the comments, or you can join my Discord and put it there. I might even help you build some of your own ships if I will be free. And that's it. See you later.